Hey down, this is Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into V or Taeyang and talk about WATTPAD a bit more and the fanfic on there, and even answer the question of if Taeyang has seen any of them. I think this is something a lot of people are curious about. I also wanted to get into V trying out a new career and what happened with that. So grab your dumpling tea spilling mug merch and let's jump into the tea. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be first to leave your hate comment, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also, and you'll be first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing that I wanted to get into is what is going on with BTS and WATTPAD. Just a quick recap if you aren't aware, BTS is planning to continue their work and stories with webtoons, and they also announced that they will be posting those stories to WATTPAD. I believe WATTPAD does not do videos, so it'll be written stories, which is nice too. You can't always watch videos, especially when you're in class and you forget your headphones, but you can always secretly take your phone out and read stories. So it's a good medium for them to have their art in, and I'm glad they're doing it. There's a lot of uproar online over this, and the main one was the fear that the boys are going to see the gay fanfic stories that were posted on WATTPAD. I just want to clarify that labels know what members you're going to ship together. Most of them know. I guess I can't say all of them know. And they know before the group debuts. This is why some labels, not Hybe or Big Hit, but other labels, organize their groups to sit in a certain order during interviews, or always have a specific member dancing in the front and other members in the back. With BTS, they'll often put Jungkook, Jin, and Taeyang as their frontman in America because they're considered super handsome by American standards. And so labels know what members are the most marketable, and so some labels, again, not necessarily Big Hit, will have their members interact in a certain way, or just put two members together often enough so they kind of just have a lot of cute moments. This can be putting them together in a hotel room so they bond more, or something like the directors being like, okay, you two sit together as we film this mukbang. This could be a reason why we have a lot of Taekook moments, and moments where Taeyang and Jungkook are sitting or next to each other. It's interesting because during In the Soup Season 1, I reacted to the entire season and started Season 2 on my Patreon. So if you want to watch it with me, link down below. But it's interesting because Taeyang and Jungkook had a moment where they kind of sat down and talked about them not being as close as they used to be, and after that moment, everything seemed resolved and normal. And maybe just working through some unresolved issues. But before that moment, some of that tension was obviously there, but we were still seeing them next to each other and still being touchy with each other. And this could be, and again, just my theory, because they had to. So my theory is that the boys know about the ships that we have of them, and it's often not a surprise to them, as because they are together all the time. They can expect to be shipped by the fandom. This goes with not just singers, but people will even ship two YouTubers they see in a video all the time together. Taeyang and Jungkook have acknowledged their ship name many times before, so they do know about it. That is clear. Now, some of the ships on WATTPAD are on a whole other level, and I can understand some ARMY's concerns that if BTS were to read some of them, they would be weirded out. ARMYs were even more concerned when apparently Hybe had created an account, allegedly, and now it's gone. Some people were wondering if it was one of the members that created the account and read fanfic and then deleted it. But we don't know. I can go off of screenshots to say the account existed. I don't know for sure, as it's not there anymore. Some were even saying that Hybe should take legal action on the fanfic so that the boys don't read it, and that Taeyang can never get exposed to it. Hybe won't do that. It's literally such a pointless and mean thing to sue people over fanfic. There's two times people believe V acknowledged ships, and they both believe this was his way of saying he didn't like them. There was a time where he responded back to a comment, something along the lines in which an ARMY said he loves Jungkook's photos, and Taeyang responded, get out of your imagination. And then another time when people were shipping and spreading rumors about Taeyang and the CEO's daughter at the museum, he posted a Weverse story talking about how he is dreaming about stabbing those people. The comment on Weverse might have just been a misunderstanding. The answer and what the ARMY wrote are both very vague, and only they know what their intent was writing the question and answer. But to me, it isn't a response to hating ships. A response would have been, stop this nonsense, or we are not together like that. And him being mad at the CEO's daughter might be due to the reason that she apparently got death threats. And of course, that is something that Taeyang puts on himself and thinks it's his fault. The daughter seems like a private person and isn't a celebrity as far as I know. And she has money. She could be one if she wants. But she was then sprung into the spotlight, and in such a negative way. If you actually didn't know, Suga kind of admitted to writing, or at least imagining, fanfic when he was younger. In a live stream not too long ago, he talked about how he would think of his favorite singers and athletes and fantasize stories about them. I just highly doubt that if there's someone that might be okay with fanfic in BTS, and let's say the others hated it, I doubt Suga wouldn't go and tell the the other members that fanfic is harmless, because by definition they would be hating Suga too, because he would be the type of person to write about singers and make up stories if he did something like this. I highly doubt he would be violently against ARMY's writing stories. If the members are uncomfortable reading gay fanfic of two members together, then guess what? Just don't read it. You have eyes and ears, they're yours, no one's putting a gun to your head or their head and forcing them to read it. If they do sit there and read it, it's because they enjoy the story. As a lot of stories on Wattpad are very well written. It's not just members sleeping with each other. The members are put in really interesting lives and really interesting stories. It's a great way to get inspiration for new concepts too, as romance in stories, shows, and movies often happen in a very dramatic way, an interesting way. It'll be like Taeyang and Jungkook have been running for the police for 3 years and are in a crummy rundown motel. Like, I'd want to know what happened there. I made that up, by the way. Don't know if that's a story already. I think V is happy with whatever ARMY does, as long as it's not hurting them. There's comments online that make up rumors and claim it's true, like awful ones that I can't even say because it's quite triggering. Ones accusing members of SA, which clearly didn't happen, and an awful thing to make up. That they can take legal action on. Fanfic, let those armies do their fanfic. It's been proven that fanfic actually increases the celebrity's popularity. There's literally movies made out of fanfic. 50 Shades of Grey. Now, aside from speaking out about a lot of these topics lately, it seems like Taeyang has other hobbies as well. Sorry if that comes across as weird, I just don't know how to transition from here. But Taeyang adapted to a new hobby, and it's a very exciting one. You can definitely say their jobs are singing and dancing, but it's interesting because music is also their hobby. Unlike a lot of other careers, it's usually one thing, and you can't really have that as a job and a hobby. Like, you probably wouldn't be a taxi driver and then go for long drives in your free time. I mean, maybe. But I would imagine you're sick of being in your car. I don't know, but you would think that the boys would be trying to do something else. But Suga and Taeyang both decide to learn instruments in their free time. Suga and his guitar, and Taeyang actually a trumpet. Taeyang, surprising or not surprising, is very into jazz music. I can totally see why. It's very classy. I can see him with his hard whiskey or cigar at a 90s bar. And so it makes sense that he would pick an instrument maybe in that genre. Saxophone or trumpet. He chose trumpet, which is very hard to play. And he decided to learn it, and we actually saw some of that process in the second season of In the Soup. A lot of people do wonder if maybe he will release a jazz album or mixtape for the sake of it. I think it's so fun when artists release things just because they want to, and do it without any thought of if it will do well. Like just putting his own money into studio time and making this jazz album and then just putting it out. If it sells, then it sells. If not, he still has this jazz mixtape in his discography, and it can just remain as part of his musical portfolio to show how diverse he is. There's plenty of artists that will release like one-off mixtapes that are so different from what they do, and they don't really promote it like it's an independent release. I hope Taeyang does something like that. It would also be cool to see him perform maybe with a trumpet in a new song or something. Maybe one of their new songs will require it, similar to how Jungkook was seen playing the drums or something. So I think we would all be shocked when Taeyang gets really good and shows off his skills, because In the Soup was filmed a little while ago, and if Taeyang kept up with his practices, I don't see why he wouldn't at least be somewhat really good now. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is due to copyright or getting taken down, so I do keep it over there on my Patreon. You can get videos over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things you would like me to react to, as well as we have a good time interacting and having fun over there. Currently, there's over 400 videos that are already up on there, so if you're interested in checking any of that out, make sure you go over there and check it out. Link is in the top of the description down below. There is a video over there that kind of goes over how you can support this channel even more if you would like to do that. That video is on the front page and it's free to watch. With that said, there's two videos that will appear up on screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those. I'll see you over there. Bye.